Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go.
Now we're back from the dead.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm filming at my casa in my bedroom because I'm still recovering from surgery. Womp womp. That's okay, I have a bunch of questions from you guys that I thought I would do a Q&A, and oh my god, I am so excited to announce that I have made 1 million views on YouTube. I am so excited that we got to this point, and I wouldn't have been able to get to this point without you guys. So, of course, we're going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to go over the stuff that will be in the giveaway. So, let's start chatting. So the first question that I got, of course, was how did my surgery go? And I thought that I could incorporate it in with why I'm still at home and I'm still recovering from surgery. So many of you guys have been worried about me, and you're so sweet. The actual surgery went really well. I did have my tonsils out, and when they were in there, apparently my adenoids were bad and they had to remove them. So basically I went under a dual surgery, and so that is what kind of kicked my butt. The surgeries both went well, except my surgeon, for some reason, believes in not having pain medication subscribed to the patient. I think there's like a big fear and stigma for doctors because they're afraid that addiction is going to take place. I get it, but I also went through surgery, so what ended up happening was the first 4 days of surgery, or after surgery, I was in excruciating pain without pain medication. I think the pain was really coming from the adenoids, not really my tonsils. And so by day 4, I had not ate or drank anything for 4 days because the pain was so bad from the swelling that I literally physically could not swallow at all, like any water, and like there was no even option of trying to eat food. So on day 4, I basically called my doctor, my surgeon, crying, begging to get pain medication because I know not eating for that long is really not good either. And so she did prescribe me medication, and I was able to eat ice and cold water, help the swelling go down, and finally I'm at where I am now. So anyway, today I have not taken any medication. I'm actually doing really well. But if I talk or speak too long or kind of overexert myself, my throat hurts really bad. It's mainly the left side that tends to be the sorest. So I'm under the assumption that in the next maybe 3 to 4 days, I'm going to get better. I did not know I was going to have the second surgery. I thought I was just going in for the one surgery. If I would have known that, I would have obviously pre-filmed for 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, and I didn't. So here I am still filming even though I'm not feeling well, even though I didn't make it into the office, because I am not a quitter. So the other strange thing that I wanted to share with you guys that I thought was crazy is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of anesthesia awareness. It's basically when, it's actually quite scary. You go, to sleep, they put you out with anesthesia, and then sometimes you're aware of your surroundings, but it's really bad because sometimes you can feel like being cut open or drilling or whatever. Thank God that didn't happen to me. But it was very odd. When I was out under anesthesia, I remember thinking that I woke up several times during surgery, and my surgery ended up being an hour and a half. And every time I would sit up you know, I don't know if it was a dream or what was going on, but I would look at the foot of the bed that I was in, and I would see my friend Christian and my gram standing at the end of the bed. And it was almost like they were not watching me. They were watching the doctors and what the doctors were doing. And both of them had this like stern, like, you know, body language. Like they were like, don't mess up kind of attitude. And I remember like sitting up looking at both of them, but neither of them made eye contact with me, which I thought was really odd. They weren't paying attention to me. It was like they were watching the doctors. And I would look around and I didn't see the doctors. And then I would just remember like, okay, whatever. And then I'd like pass back out. And I remember sitting up again later and they're in the same spot. They're just like watching these doctors. So I don't know if that was actually them. I'm assuming it probably was just because, you know, I'm in the paranormal field. But I thought that was something that I wanted to share with you guys because only you guys would understand kind of how cool it was, right? So first, let's go over some questions that you guys asked me. I'm only going to go over a handful just because I'm still not filling up to par. So the first question is have I been followed home before? Yeah, I get followed home all the time. In fact, I can't remember an investigation that I didn't get followed home from. But I even get followed home from random places. I've told you guys, like, if I go in an antique store, I can get followed home from there. But I did have something really strange happen a couple of weeks ago. So I was in my office, and it was really late, and I decided, like, I need to, like, walk away from the office and go. So I went to close my office door, and it would not shut. It was like this huge gust of wind came in, and I was like trying to shut the door. I tried it twice, actually, to be specific, and like it was like I couldn't shut the door. And so I went back in my office because there is one window. You guys usually see it. And so I looked at the window to make sure it wasn't open. It was not open. And so I went to close it again, and the same thing happened. And all of a sudden in my ear, it was this ear, I heard this whisper. It was a man. Tell Kit I was here. And I was like, I don't know anyone named Kit. And so I freaked out actually because I don't know that energy. Like I'm very familiar when my family comes around. Like I don't know if it's from being in paranormal or if it's from knowing my, you know, being an empath. But this energy I was not familiar with. So it made me really nervous. So I slammed the door shut and I actually threw myself against the wall. It was just that feeling where I didn't want anything behind me. And after that, the energy was gone. And I had no idea what it was or where it came from. So I kind of got freaked out because I'm like, who's Kit? Like, I don't know anybody named Kit. So I was home later and I was like checking my social media one last time. It was nighttime. It was like 10 o'clock at night and I never like check my social media super late just because sometimes when you get negative stuff, like you don't want to go to bed like with people's negativity, you know. So I checked my messages in Facebook and I saw someone named Kit messaged me saying that they're like this huge fan of Ghost Girl Diaries and that their cousin died and that they haven't had the best communication with the other side, but that they believe in paranormal, they believe their cousin comes around, and I'm like, oh my god, this is Kit. And so I looked at the time frame of when the message was sent, when I, you know, versus when I came out of the office and like I heard that whisper, and I was like, that was like the same exact time that Kit was writing me this message, that this happened with this whisper in my ear. And normally I won't message people back late at night, even if I do check social media, but I was like, oh my god, I have to tell Kit, like, what happened. So I'm like writing Kit, I'm like, oh my god, this is what just happened, is crazy. And Kit was like, that's crazy. So I even have had odd other things happen, not just getting followed home from investigations, not just random places I'm out. Like, I don't want to sound like Huff Paranormal, but it's supposed to be a joke. You guys better laugh. But no, seriously, like that was weird. That was one thing odd that happened to me. UK location, where would I want to go in the UK? There's so many places that are haunted, you know, in Europe that I'd love to go to, but UK specifically, I told you that my friend Rory is a detective, and he actually has withheld the Jack the Ripper case file for me. And even Rory, as a detective, is like, this is the biggest case that, you know, the UK has ever had, especially like in the London vicinity, and it still remains unsolved. And Rory was like, what if not only you could get your paranormal thing done, but he was like, what if we get a lead as to who actually committed these crimes? And so Rory and I were actually going to try to plan like this odd trip across the UK and see where it takes us, trying to track Jack the Ripper's steps of the murders. And then basically just kind of do a cold case thing, see where it leads, especially when you have like him as like an actual detective and me as an investigator. So I thought that would be cool. He's like trying to get me to come out there. I've got to go. It's ridiculous. But I think that's going to be like a month investigation. So I have to like prepare to, you know, be able to go over to the UK for a month. But yes, not just Jack the Ripper. There's so many crazy, awesome old locations in London, in the UK, that I'd love to go to. My family, like if you trace back my heritage, half of my family actually is Native American. You guys know that. And the other half of my family traces back to like Cambridge. In fact, one of the royalty family members from like maybe the 1400s I was actually related to. So that's why I think the UK, I have this obsession with the UK and London. And so I think that if I got to go to some of the really cool old pubs or even outside of the main cities and see some of those places, I just have a feeling that maybe it's a past life thing that I would really feel at home there. So yes, the UK is definitely one of the big places on my list. So that question was for the UK. The other question I got was, do I have a legitimate top place that I really want to go to? I did do my top 10s for Halloween. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it below. But honestly, hands down, like I have been dying to go to Suicide Forest. I think it's so awesome. I would not want to go in without a guide if you're not familiar with Suicide Forest. It's either the most or one of the most frequent locations that people will actually go to commit suicide, even if you're not from Japan. I think it's on the base of Mount Fuji, and people just walk into the forest and hang themselves, and then you have like body snatchers and gangsters that go in and rob the bodies, which is creepy. So yeah, Suicide Forest, there's all these pictures of like, please turn back, don't go in, your life is worth more than this, and they say that it's crazy haunted. I want a guide, someone that's very familiar with the area, so that I could kind of go out of spots that have been kind of untouched. Josh Gates did investigate there, but I feel like there could be more. There's more to be done there. The only thing that I'd be afraid of is finding dead bodies, which is very highly likely that that could happen. Or running into camps where people have gone in to camp out to think about or consider killing themselves. Which is actually just really, really sad if you think about it. Okay, Mickey asked, was I born knowing, the presence of spirits, or was I born with this as a gift? I did do my origin story, if you guys haven't seen that, so I'll link it below if you haven't. I was actually born clinically dead, so maybe that's what makes me an empath and able to connect with the other side. I've mentioned that my aunt's house growing up was very haunted, and it was very just accepted with my family. The house was a generational home. It had been in our family for many years, and it was never scary. And then I had my predominant interaction when my grandmother passed away, when I was like, I think 15 or something like that. And that was when it was like hands down, the paranormal exists, or at least to me it does. And it takes that time for you to realize or believe. That's why I'm not a big pusher of skeptics. Like, I don't feel like my thing is forcing skeptics to believe, because I think that until they have that exact moment where they've had that interaction or they've seen something, it's going to take that for them to believe. It's not going to take any amount of evidence that you give a skeptic. So that's why I'm not for pushing skeptics into it. It's going to take them experiencing it themselves in order to believe that it exists. Was I born with this gift? Maybe. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm some like weird X-Men, except for real, if Xavier had a school for mutants, I would so go. Mainly because I think Cyclops would be really fun to hang out with. And I really feel like Rogue would be my best friend in my head. Do I like horror movies and scary movies? Is it bad to say not really? I guess if I were to sit down and watch a horror movie, scary movie, it would be like Paranormal Activity or Annabelle or something like that. I feel like I could relate more to a haunted movie than I could anything else. But as far as like super gory movies, I was really a big Michael Myers fan. Big difference between Michael Myers and Mike Myers, like Austin Powers versus serial killer. Michael Myers. I was a huge Michael Myers fan when I was in high school and loved like H2O, all those movies. But not really. As I got older, I started developing being an empath. And honestly, when I watch things, movies, television programs where people are being physically hurt, or especially like animals or kids, I feel their pain. So honestly, I can't watch it. It sounds sad and like it sucks, but no, I don't really watch anything that's like gory because I can't. In fact, I was like a big Walking Dead fan, and I was watching it pretty faithfully till like the new season hit, which I'm not going to do any spoilers alert just in case someone hasn't seen it. But it got really gory. That first episode with Negan, I just couldn't. It was great, freaking great special effects, like freaking great, but not something that I could watch. I was like, ow, my head hurts. Feels like I have a splitting headache. But I'm full of jokes tonight, you guys. Okay, I have to give a shout out to a guy named Order of Magnitude. That is his channel. So if you're looking for some information regarding the Wonderbox and Steve Huff, you need to go to this channel, Order of Magnitude on YouTube, okay? Dude, I don't even know your name, bro, but you're really cool. You gave me a shout out on your channel. Really appreciate it. So I just kind of wanted to address this whole Wonderbox issue that's going on. So far, I've actually had pretty positive, neutral feedback from people regarding the Wonderbox. As you guys know, in production, I'm going to call a spade a spade. I don't have anything personal against Steve Huff or the Wonderbox, so that's not the issue. Apparently, there is all kinds of paradrama surrounding Steve Huff. All kinds of paradrama. I'm not even going to go into details because I don't like to report to you guys anything that's not true. What I reported to you last time was actual what I saw with my eyes, which is people taking it apart, how it looked. In fact, I have several interviews coming up for the Wonderbox and with people that have bought and like displaced a Wonderbox. So I will have a future video coming up on that. But I don't like to report any other kind of like paradrama that's going on the outside because I'm not about that life. You guys know I've hung out with a majority of the paranormal community, the celebrity paranormal community. I know a lot of them fairly well. And the one thing that the celebrity community hates more than anything is paradrama, and is where drama is completely surrounding it. So I don't like to get into topics surrounding drama. I understand that Steve Huff has all this issues and all this drama surrounding him. That was not really the point of me bringing the Wonderbox to light. I just want to protect my investigators and make sure that they're investing in proper equipment, especially when I'm showing you guys how this equipment works and what the best equipment is to buy. I have a lot of followers, you guys, subscribers that are out there that are new investigators, so I don't want you to go buy something and it's like you're wasting money, you know? So that's really the only purpose behind me reviewing the Wonderbox. I wanted to know what it was, how it worked, why it cost that much. I will have a follow-up video on it, but as far as all of this drama goes, I don't want to get involved with it. And there's a few reasons for it. One of the reasons is in Hollywood, when you work on production sets, when you work with producers, when you work with executive producers, there's a saying that goes around with cast members, especially like paranormal is reality and documentary mixed into one. The saying is, bad publicity is still publicity. What that means is, if you're reporting on this guy Even if it's true, I'm not discrediting, who he is or you reporting on this Steve Huff guy saying all of these bad things about him. That's fine, but you're still giving him publicity. The more publicity you give him, the more he's going to work his way up in the ladder. And I hate to use the Kardashians as an example because I'm not hating on anybody, like the Kardashians have made their brand and it's gigantic. I am not by any means a Kardashian fan, but damn, they've got some money. And that is because bad publicity is still publicity. Even when someone talks crap about them or says bad things about them, it's still publicity. So it still gets their name out there. And that's what's happening with this Steve Huff guy. If he's as bad as everybody says he is, which I still don't know. I'm not talking about Steve Huff really. I'm talking about the Wonder Box by itself. But if everybody continues to report on him and continue to make more and more videos about him, it's just going to create more publicity for him. When someone types in Steve Huff or the Wonder Box, all of this stuff's going to come up. But you know what? He still has 47 videos on just him alone, which is still publicity. So I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, out somebody. That's not really who I'm about or what my channel's about. And I don't like to destroy people. I'm going to be honest. I have that like karma thing. And I've had karma, like I've had instant karma slap me in the face. So I'm not about, dealing with karma. But I do just want everybody to just be aware that bad publicity is still publicity. And it's okay to put out there what you have found out, researched, or believe. But just remember, like, for you to contribute your whole life to this dude, you're not helping yourself grow. You're not helping your brand grow. You need to kind of withhold the negativity or anything else from other people and try to create yourself and your own brand. So a lot of people have asked me if I'm going to report more on Steve Huff. Not really. I will be talking and I'll be doing Skype interviews with several people that have broken apart the Wonder Box and basically tell you guys what they've saw inside of it, how it's built, and what each of those parts cost. I will do that only because that is for my fellow community. But anything having to do with Steve Huff, I don't really want to be a part of it because I don't want to contribute to his publicity if he is what people are saying what he is. All right, let's move on to 1 million views. Oh my gosh, I am so happy. You guys made my week, especially after I had surgery. Let's get away to the giveaways. I'm gonna have basically 1 big winner, 3 smaller winners, and then I'm gonna have a bunch of little winners. So you have to enter. Like, you guys have to enter. I'm going to do like random selections of who gets it. I'm super excited about it. Let's do this. So I don't know if you guys caught on last week, but I was doing a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe quotes because I love him. Especially he was so accepting of like death, and yeah, it was dark, but it was like kind of a natural part of life is how he kind of saw it. So he's one of my favorite authors, poets really, but I have several different Edgar Allan Poe books that I'm going to be giving away, which I'm super excited to send you guys. So I do have 2 of the bigger books, so these will be given away to the bigger winners. They're actually really beautiful inside. They have kind of the poems, they have different pictures or portraits with the poems. And then they kind of have some random information about Edgar Allan Poe and who he was. So these will be in the giveaway. This book is just as nice. I actually have several of these books as well. And it's kind of more of like a cartoonish thing. But I just think that they're really beautifully made because I think Edgar Allan Poe is awesome. So this is called Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven and Tales. So I'm going to be giving those away as well. So the number 1 winner will also be getting a Zach Bagans Haunted Museum hat, a beanie. There's actually a very, very good story behind this beanie, and I'm going to tell you guys what it is. So an odd chain of events happened when I received this beanie. So Zach had started following me on Twitter, and we had messaged each other, you know, back and forth, and we'd been chatting one day, and the next day at my house, my actual address, this showed up. This showed up in my mailbox, which I don't usually get mail at my house. I always get mail at my P.O. box. So I was really confused because there was no PayPal receipt. I didn't know who purchased it. I didn't know where it came from. And so I messaged him and I was like, we were just talking, so did you send me this? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, there's no like PayPal receipt. Like, I don't know who this is from. And so this beanie is so important that I had almost convinced Zach that his museum is so haunted that it was sending out his merchandise. This is so stupid. So anyway, it wasn't. Long story short, whatever. This will be the #1 winner. We'll also get this. So they're going to get a book and then the beanie and some other little stuff. I also have some other fun stuff to give away. I just brought a couple of examples in to show you guys. So I brought in some myrrh. It's actually incense, so it's really good. Eucalyptus is for healing and protection. White sage obviously is for protecting your house. And frankincense is really good to like ward off spirits if you have energies around you. And then I have I bought a ton of crystals. I don't even have all of them in here. So these will be kind of the little giveaways to you guys. I have like tiger's eye. I have all kinds of quartz. I mean, there's so many, guys. Like, so I'm going to give these away and all of the little giveaways to you guys. So that's why I want everybody to enter. What do you have to do in order to enter the giveaway? You have to like my video. You have to subscribe to my channel. And you have to comment below 2 things. You have to tell me what your favorite video was that I did in the past. And then the second thing you have to do is either give me an idea of what you'd like for me to talk about more, or a new idea that I haven't talked about yet. And that's it. Let's see, this video is going out tomorrow, which is April 1st. I'll let this run for 1 month. I will announce winners. Let's see, let me look at the calendar. And what I'll do is after everybody enters, basically the 28th, I will go through and message everybody, whoever's randomly chosen. I'll probably choose like 7 to 10 people, something like that. I'll have my team message you guys. You'll have to send me an email back. Basically, you will have 24 hours to message me and let me know that you'd like to win the prize. And I'll also maybe include some mini posters where I sign them and send them to you guys. And maybe even like some crystal necklaces. Maybe it'll be more than 10 people. I don't know. It depends on who enters. So make sure you enter below. Please give my video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure you follow me on social media. And I will catch you guys next time. Hopefully not at home recovering from surgery. Bye, guys.
Hell yeah.
We're back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.